Alright, hello tubers. Alright. We're getting through these TVs. We're working on it. And I may have figured something out for my shop. I don't know. If you haven't checked out that video, I made myself a camera stand. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how that works today. But right now we have TVs. And we're gonna continue on with our LED TVs. And let's start with these. I have 3 Vizio TVs, 3 of them, small, medium, large. Let's go ahead and do those 3 today. Let's see what they have, let's see what they don't have, and let's see what we can feed that stock pot over there, because we're getting close, guys. I mean, right now, today, I think I'm at 96 subs. So for all you new people, you know what to do. Go over there and hit that like, share, and subscribe, and get us to them 100 subs so that I can empty out that stock pot. Because here, let's take a walk. I'll try not to make you dizzy. I've been trying to train myself to not spin too fast. But that's our stock pot right there. And when that hits 100 subs, that guy's going to get emptied out. And it's got a little bit of gold sitting in the bottom of it. It sure does. And if you haven't been keeping up with this, go check it out. I've got the evolution of the stock pot. Everything we put in here, up to date, minus a couple things that I started off with a few months ago. But yeah, so this has been here for, I don't know, 2.5 weeks now we've been doing this. And we're almost to 100 subs, so we'll get there. We'll get there. But that's not what this video is about today. This video is about TVs. And what they're worth, what they're not worth. And so why don't we just get into it. I'm going to get this camera set up here, and I don't know, we're going to see what happens here today. I hope you guys sit back, relax, have your cup of coffee, whatever you're doing. Let's hang out for a little while. Try not to get in too much trouble. Alright, yeah, that's right. 2 hands. Yeah, I might be able to cut that part out. I might not. I'll have to continue my journey on learning how to edit. And I'm going to hope to not get my face over everything here, over this beautiful TV. And in fact, I wish I could bring you down here. I already set you up. I can see the gold right through that, right there on that TCOM board in the back. You sure can. We'll see it in a minute here. Yeah, so I guess I can't really pause the video, so I don't even know what to do anymore. But we're going to get started up here. First, of course, just start going through all the screws. I don't know if I can speed this part up or not, or if you guys want to watch. That's up to you. This is the first time I'm doing everything kind of with 2 hands. So, kind of exciting. And yeah, there's lots of screws everywhere. I don't know if you guys want to see whole videos or if you guys like, you guys just like those short ones that I do where I just pick up the camera, tell you what I've done, and put the camera back down. I'm not sure. You guys will have to let me know in the comments, I guess. How do you guys want me to do it? Alright, look at that. Put them right there for now. They're just so long. Alright, and there's always screws everywhere. They want to try and save money when they make these TVs, so they quit putting gold and precious metals in there, but yet there's a million screws all over the place on this thing. And yeah, I got this out in the wild, and it still had its cord. You know, that's like getting a trophy. Finding a TV in the wild that still has its cord. So, actually, I usually keep one of these, especially it has a square. It has a square end and a round end side there. I keep one of those for testing. I've already got a bunch of them, so let's go to my cord bin. Yeah, so let's see. There we go. There's that. There's the legs. Should we do it back first here? Let's find out. Normally, like I tell my boys, if it's not coming apart, chances are there's a screw somewhere you missed. And that's usually about right. But it's hard to say. I know. Look at that. Alright. What do we got? A little bit of wire. A little low-grade board. You can bend the plastic tabs back. This is just the button board. It's got them tactile switches in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. We'll look at that closer. We'll put it off to the side. Then you got some low-grade wire and some plastic. Unfortunately, I don't think this is recyclable. Majority of it is not nowadays. It's really a bummer. But we'll look into actually what is recyclable at the end of this series. But for now, it's going on the floor. Excuse me. Alright, so the basic layout of pretty much any TV, especially a smart TV. You have your Wi-Fi board, which always has a gold, gotta get my tools. It has a gold little antenna, so I leave that on there and I clip the wire out. And clip the connector out of there and this Wi-Fi card comes right off. Some people even pass them up. And I don't know why. I'm just not sure why people pass them up. But we'll look at that again. But yeah, that's gold right there. People, I don't know. Maybe they just don't think about it. Maybe they don't notice it. Sometimes they're tucked in the corner. And you don't quite see it. I guess they got to get reception somehow or something, you know. So they get them to the edge of the TVs the best they can. So let's see. Try not to keep tape on my workbench as much as I can help it. If you watch my other videos, you'll see that yeah, it sticks to your gold and stuff. And if you're scrapping like I do, and you're at the point to where you're trying to get all the gold you can, why lose a bunch of gold to a piece of tape? And I know there's processes to get it back and everything else, but why make it harder? Alright, now that I got my shop. Yeah, the TV over there, that big giant 90-inch. Now that I can sit here and talk, that 90-inch TV was found out in the wild. Got a phone call, said, hey, do you want a TV? I said, sure. Went over and get one. He says, hey, do you want more? So, well, yeah. He's like, all right. And I came back with like 9, 10 TVs total, plus a couple I found along the way as well. So you just never know. I was out and about, just minding my own business, and I always see people, and if I think I have a chance without really wrecking the moment, I'll drop the fact that I take electronics for free. Here's your power board. I know this guy hasn't been plugged in, so I don't worry about those, but these are your caps. So if you go and you see those two prongs sticking off of there onto the board, chances are if they had a charge, I would have already been zapped. But just for argument's sake, when they're still on the TV, if you think for a minute there may be a chance they're going to have power, get yourself a pair of rubber clippers and clip those little tines, 1 and 2. You may see some sparks. Don't hold the board while you're doing this. I'm just demonstrating. You may see some sparks come out of those guys, but you won't be affected if you have the rubber handle on your nippers there. But you definitely want to get them out of the way. And I don't even leave these in my shop. And in fact, I'll go and I'll pop these suckers off. And I'll throw them in my aluminum cans. And then I throw them outside of my aluminum can pile. Now, you got to check with your scrap yard if they'll take them that way or not. But I don't even leave them in my shop because I just don't trust them. Along with batteries and everything else. Yeah, and this says 220 volts. Now, if you put those two together, That's enough to really hurt you. So don't leave them laying around. Whether they have a charge or not, you know, I mean, especially if you're doing this like in your basement, you leave this power board laying around, somebody comes by to pick it up and they get nailed by it. If they survive, they're not going to be happy about it, that's for sure. All right, so you got the cord that's leading into the LEDs on the back side of this here. That's a piece of plastic that come off, and it'll go in our plastic pile. Because we're going to weigh all that stuff up after we get done with this series. When they're all completely done, we're going to weigh it all up, get kind of an idea of, you know, how much you're going to get rid of, how much you're going to have to get rid of per TV, or as a total on average, depending on the size, whatever you guys want. That's up to you. But I don't know if a lot of people really know this. And these are just steel. Go in your steel pile. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but my local dump at the moment is charging to get rid of just whatever waste materials you have, rubbish, whatever you want to call it. They're charging the same amount per pound as the scrapyard is paying for steel. So not only if you take it to the dump are you going to have to pay that amount to get rid of it, you're losing out on quite a bit if you just go 10 miles in the opposite direction. Now that's me. I actually have an arrangement with people. And hey, all you scrappers out there, if you're interested and you got a half a load of steel and you need to fill up your trailer, come give me a call. I'm always up to figuring out stuff. I take old TVs and things. If you don't know what to do with them, bring them on to me. I'll trade you for some copper. I'll trade you for some steel. Stuff like that. I have people all the time that come over and do that. And that's also a way I don't have to deal with my steel. I can just make sure it's nice and clean. And they take it for me. So here's a little button. It's a little blackboard. But inside of that ribbon, there's going to be some gold. And I just go ahead and give it a nip right now. And yeah, you can't see in there right now, I'm sure, but there's a little gold in there. I know I sound like a broken record, but there's gold everywhere, everywhere. And I don't know if you can see from your angle, but you can already see the gold right there. Yeah, it's thin. Yeah, there's not much of it. But hey, if you already got a process like me and you're already doing it, that's perfect. That's what you're looking for. That quiet little extra little bit of gold that nobody really is paying attention to. They don't expect any money for it, anything like that. And it's nice. Then people are willing to give you their stuff. And they don't have to pay, because this costs $10 per TV, unless they're the bigger ones like that 90-inch back there. That 90-inch is probably going to run you like $50 to get rid of. I know it probably costs a lot more than that, but that's $50 American now, right now, as this video is taking place. That TV is going to it costs you to get rid of. So I save people quite a bit of money. So some people are a little offended when they're like, well, why am I going to give it to you for free? You're not giving it to me for free. I'm taking and I'm providing you a service, and I'm taking the materials, and what I do with the materials afterwards is my deal. So for all you people that think that it's easy, you know, take a minute and watch any of these scrappers videos, and they'll tell you, yeah, you know, they even have to charge for it. I just so happen that I'm in a position I don't. And that's low grade wire. Nothing I've had so far has had any gold in it. But yeah, fortunately I'm in a position where I don't have to charge, and unfortunately for some of them companies that I get phone calls from different companies and stuff, and there's no gold in that guy either on this end, but I'm willing to bet on this end there is. Yeah, right there. So if there's gold on the board where the connection is made, chances are there's gold in the connector. If there's no gold on the board where the connection was made, chances are there's no gold in the connector. This guy has some. You usually always count on them. And just take a little scissors, whack-a-do, and you put it over in your collection. Some more low-grade wire. I don't muck around with much of that. I just literally fill it up in garbage cans and take it in. Once I got 5 or 6 garbage cans, I'll take that in. So we got the main board here. I know everybody's got different names. I kept calling it a logic board, and I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. Is it a peripheral board because it's got the RCAs and everything in? I don't know. I'm not a technician. All I know is that there's some things on here that are worth some money, especially underneath here. If something requires a heat sink, then that means that they're watching out for it. And if they're watching out for it, then there's got to be something under there. But if you watch my other videos or you've done it yourself, watch out for that white heat paste that's in between them. Always something there. This is usually aluminum. You can take your magnet there. No stick. So chances are that's aluminum. The way it feels and everything, you get used to it. If it was steel, it'd be a little heavier, like stainless steel, non-magnetic. And it wouldn't make sense because aluminum works really good to disperse heat. So yeah, you're gonna find a lot of aluminum heat sinks on a lot of different items. A lot of different stuff. Other things, that's brass, that's steel. As you can see, that's aluminum. You know, so your magnet, use your magnet. Go around the board, find out that's steel, but that's one of them silver crystal oscillators. Everybody sees them, everybody takes them and collects them. I do the same thing, but I tell you what, that's pretty rough to get into one of those little guys for a little silver. So we're gonna figure out a better solution, I think. But you do have a gold quarter BGA. Those things are fun. Hey, we got a bunch of them, and you got some BGA underneath here, and yeah, some IC style chips, things like that. So that's cool. There's a lot to explore on that board, and that's the main board that comes in from like your components and things that you use. So now let's move our way down. Let's get rid of this aluminum. All right, so we got what I call the T-con board. I know, hold on. Excuse me. T-con board. Everybody corrects me. Everybody corrects me. I know I'm wrong. I know, I get it. Like I said 100 times, I got 2 teenage boys. I am used to being wrong 99 times a day. I only gotta be right once. So I do believe this is what you would consider a T-con board. And they sure do. They don't like coming out very much. Let's see. There we go. Sometimes just good old screwdriver. But yeah, so I don't know all the components, but that's okay. I know how to safely discharge everything so I don't get electrocuted, which is important. And I know how to identify the materials I need and I want. So if you see what I did right there, these little guys, these little black guys will just flop up and down, and they just come off. You flip them up and they come off, and these ribbon cables come off. And again, these ribbon cables, I love them. People laugh. I love them. They are a great source of gold. They just really, truly are, because you can take them, you can peel the tape off of them if you want to save them up. And there's gold in there. There's gold all along in there. And there's not much. Granted, it's not a lot. But you cut it close to that gold and you throw them in your stock pot. I do not suggest throwing them in there whole, for the fact that that's aluminum. And if you muck around with your stock pot and aluminum, you're not going to have a good day regardless of what happens. So I don't suggest throwing them in there whole, and I'm hoping you guys are getting shots of this. I don't know. We're just experimenting with the camera. So I'm just happy I got one put up. Now I can two-hand it here. So yeah, those ribbon cables, good. They're good stock for your stock pot there. Perfect. And this T-con board we'll explore a little more, but hey, check it out. This one has some gold on it. And on the backside, this guy's got some gold on it. So that's perfect. Not very much, very thin Enig. It's very thin flashing regardless, no matter what. Very thin, just enough to make those connections. But it's there. And that's more food for the stock pot. Why not? And I'm gonna clip this wire here. I use some scissors. I've got garden shears. I've got kitchen shears, which I like. They work really good too. But sometimes a good old-fashioned pair of scissors you found for free in a free pile works. You know? And as you see, I've got just basic minimal tools. Your most important one, magnet, so you know what kind of metal you're working with. Really important. I got a set of clippers, which you need just a clip. I got an extra. That's my extra. And then you got your screwdriver, and you got your flathead. That's really all you need to really do this right at the moment. I mean, there's a lot more to process, but as far as sitting here doing this is all you need. And I don't know. Everybody talks about saving up their TVs. A lot of people dread it. A lot of people really do not like to save their TVs up. They scrap them out, they hurry up to get them out the door, and that works for them. So that's good. I'm all right with that. That's not me. I like to get them all lined up, get them all ready to go, get my few tools I need, and just strip them and rip them and get them out of the way. And that's just a speaker and some plastic. The speaker go in your steel pile. They'll take that. And plastic, of course, plastic goes over there. Same thing with this one. But yeah, I like to save up a few, get them all done, and then I can choose what I want to do. If I want to start stripping the gold off and get them into my stock pot, letting them sit there and cook for a while, then I have that choice. Or if I want to save the boards up until I got a lot more and do something else with them, then I have the choice of that too. But I also just so happen to come across so many TVs at one point in time that now I'm a little overwhelmed with them. And that's okay. So now, we know from my last video that inside of this screen is going to have just a plastic, and it's going to have a clear whatever lens, not lens, but filter. And then it's going to have the white base underneath of it and the LEDs inside of it. We already know that. I'm not going to muck around with it right now. I don't need to take it down that far. I will, however, take it down that far just for the fact that not only does it no longer is it a TV in the eyes of the dump and things like that. If you separate it down to all the different items, then it just becomes metal and plastic. Except for those LCD and the mercury tubes, and they all have warnings on them, and we'll get onto those TVs later. But as it stands right now, the only thing I want out of this TV are those finger strip boards right here. That's it. That's all I want. And I can get them without messing around anymore. I just take this is grounding tape, and you take this grounding tape off of there, and if you're nice about it, you can just pull these little what are they, COF chip on film deals. Anyways, you get those off of there, and if you do it right, the gold stays on the board. But if you leave a little piece of that film on there, I don't know how good your stock pot's going to be able to take that off. So it's good to clean that up and clean all this stuff off of there, Get all that stuff off of there. But we'll check it out here in a little bit. And I don't know how much TVs we're going to make it through. I don't even know how long this has been going on. But, so we'll find out. But I don't think I'm going to take this TV all the way down to the metal today. If that's what you guys want to see, let me know. Plus, we had four good examples yesterday of TVs I found in the wild that already had their screens removed. So if you do want to see what they look like, go head over there and check that out. But I think we're done to the point for me today. I do save these chip on film because I don't know what they have, I don't know what they don't have, and I have bags, grocery bag full of them, and I have more coming. So I don't know, we might play with those. We might find out. But as far as this goes, we've got all the boards out of here, and we've got everything else out of here. So why don't I take this over and put it on my pile for now, and why don't we get a better shot of those boards and go from there. So I just wanted to bring you guys in here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on camera, if I can hold it steady enough, but if you raise it up to the light, you can actually see how thin that gold is. It's so thin on that wire, and only the actual copper wire stands out. That's how thin that gold plating is on that wire. But it's there nonetheless. It sure is. And yeah, so here's the boards. So as we know, let's see, so we'll get in here. And this guy is fun to explore. Let's see if I get, where's my pointer? Where's my pointer? There's my pointer. All right, so we're gonna zoom in and check some stuff out here. Here's a gold corner BGA. They call it gold corner because it's got the gold corner there. I think that's there for nothing more than orientation. And honestly, I'm not even sure if it's actual gold or gold paint. I'm not really sure. But I think, you know, everybody takes the tops of these, and this has a aluminum heatsink on it, but everybody takes the top parts and they leave this base that's attached to the board. They leave that, and they always say they'll come back to part 2. And I'm only saying this because I've only seen one other person process the bottom part like they said they were going to, and man, did he sure have a difficult time. And then at the end, poor guy was pulling his hair out. And if he has no hope in those, I have really no hope in those as well. The only thing I really know maybe to do is maybe once you take the back epoxy part off and you deal with that in a different way, maybe throwing these in your stock pot and letting them sit for a year. I don't know, literally maybe a year. But hey, in my process, that might work. And you got some, I don't want to call them memory BGAs, but they're little BGAs, kind of like memory BGAs, and they're going to have some gold in there. They're IC style chips over here, you know. And you got your MLCCs and stuff, and some more chips. There's your MLCCs. Some of them are platinum, have platinum in them, palladium. Some of them don't. Majority of them still have some silver in them. You know, you can do your own research, but there's some nice little gold pins in that guy there, and you can see it. And under here is going to be a MOSFET or of some kind. I'll take that aluminum off. We got this guy here. He is the Ethernet, or internet, whatever you want to call it. And so he's going to have a little something hiding inside of there, some gold pins and stuff. What else? These guys, sometimes that'll have some gold pins in it. What else? There's them. I mentioned them earlier. Yeah, those are them silver crystal oscillators. And everybody talks about them. You find them everywhere. Almost on every board. I think it works as a clock. I think it vibrates at a certain frequency steadily, and that's kind of what keeps the time going. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, this is just me and my assumption. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the way they keep time. But I could be completely wrong. And you guys, you know what? You've been checking it out, so you'll fix me on that. We got our finger strip boards. Again, they got the gold on them. They look nice. You take the little stickers off them. You don't want that in your stock pot. You chip them up into a couple chunks, and we'll chuck them in there at the end of the video. We got the tactile switches. Everybody loves the tactile switch. But these guys look as though that's plastic. If you look at my last TV video that I put out, they actually look brass or gold. And I'm wondering if they're not a little gold. And these guys here look like they're plastic. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be some silver. So everybody's like, well, why do they use silver? Well, they use silver inside of switches because it doesn't arc across the electricity like copper would. If you take and you know how you plug something and you see a little psh, well, if that happens too many times on your switches, they're going to fuse together on, and it's going to sit there and run power through it, and it's just going to blow up. So that's why they use silver, is because it has a better ability to not arc and fuse together when it hits whatever amount of power is going through it. Nerd. I know. Okay, so there's some gold pins. You can see them little guys hiding in there. They're hiding, but they're there. What else? You got this board. That was from the optical sensor, whatever. Here it is. I don't know. Do they use an LED anymore? I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm not sure what's in there. And that guy looks really purple. What is he? What is that? What is that little guy with a little gold right there? Can anybody tell me what that is? U202? Yeah. That looks cool. Looks like I got 6 little pads of gold on it. Well, isn't that just neat? All right. So back on. So this was what connected the board, and you can see the gold in there. Okay, this guy, we went over this one yesterday. This is a Wi-Fi card. Inside of there is going to have some gold. We know that his antenna connector is gold. And we know underneath of here, there's probably, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a little gold, gold ceramic, I don't want to call it oscillator. Well, it's gold ceramic. You see them. They're gold rim ceramic oscillators, what everybody calls them. The little squares, and they're close to gold ceramic CPUs. And they're worth keeping. I know a few people that keep a lot of them. And let's see, we got some more flat packs. Let's get out of my light here. We got some flat packs here. And each one of those legs, remember, represents a gold bond wire. If there's gold, same with these guys. There's a bunch of MLCCs, some more flat packs, some of the gold flashing right here. Yeah, it's pretty thin, and you probably even scratched through it. But tons of MLCCs. That's a real good place to get them. You got your connectors. They'll have gold. There's random gold dots here. And you go on down, and that's about it. There's a bunch of gold pads and things like that. I don't think the back looks very much different. I think they're just gold flashing on the back. Yep, but not a lot. But I mean, it's there. You got your gold ribbon wires, and back to the old power board. You seen one, you seen them all. You know how to deal with one. You know how to deal with them all. Get rid of your caps. You know, don't deal with them. Make sure you discharge them. There's a million different ways to do it. There's no excuse for you to get yourself zapped and then blame me for it. I don't want to hear it. I ain't getting yelled at for that. You got a copper transformer here. I feel like a weatherman. It's really hard. And you got copper here. These relay boxes sometimes have silver in them, in the contacts. If they're a relay, they will have silver. If that's a thick film capacitor, if that's a film capacitor, if you take that off the board and look, and it has resin inside the bottom of it, then it's not gonna have silver in it. In fact, give me 2 seconds, you guys. All right, so I pulled this off the board here. So now they come in black and white and gray and all sorts of different things, and they'll have silver, sometimes gold in them. You know, you open them up and they'll have a little copper spool. You look at the end of the spool, there'll be a little silver or a little gold on it. But these guys, these are film capacitors, I do believe. Anyways, yeah, I do believe it is. Anyways, and these guys literally just have a thin mylar aluminum inside of it. And if you see it potted like that, or what they call potted, it's full of whatever, resin or anything, whatever. That's nothing. There's literally nothing in them, and you will waste your time taking them apart. That took me a long time to learn. I had buckets thinking I had tons of silver contacts in them, and turns out I was bummed out. So that's my that's my lesson. That learned me. Yeah, it did. Yeah, you got a little bit of screws, you got a little bit of steel, you got some speakers, you got some low-grade wire. This video's went on for way too long. I'm going to bust that up, and I'm going to feed that stock pot. Make sure you guys go check on that stock pot daily. It changes. For all you new people that stuck around this long, go hit that subscribe button. For all my subscribers, let's keep doing this. We're almost at 100. We're going to find out what's happening in that guy over there very soon. I just know it. And until then, if my wife's watching, I love you, and go wash your face.